That was fast. I have to say, Nemesis, you've definitely lived up to the Sage's expectations.
Valkyrie, where are the Sage and Frigg? I need to ask them something.
Tisk. So you went to Hykros and all you learned was how to be rude like them.
You guys don't even deserve politeness. Morality and modesty get us nowhere. We have to do whatever it takes. That's what Frigg told me. If I learned anything, it was from her.
I'm definitely going to tell Frigg what you said.
Valkyrie, where's the Sage? He owes me an explanation.
I know what you're thinking, but I'm afraid the Sage can't answer you in person. But, considering you helped the Sage with his plan, I can clarify things for you on his behalf.
What happened to the Sage?
He's just sleeping now. The Sage's health has always been quite delicate, so he often needs to rest in the stasis pod.
Asleep? How long has he been sleeping for?
Interesting question. It seems like your journey in the network has been quite fruitful. The Sage journeyed from humanity's home planet aboard the distant beacon to Ida, where he took on the responsibility of overseeing Sam. Unfortunately, due to his health, he entered the stasis pod in 2545, only to awaken in the new world after the cataclysm.
When he woke up, did he receive...
Yes, he received a message from Antoria, the commander of the Temporal Anomaly Response Force, who's also the first and only perfect authorizer and the executor of the Reshape the Future plan. Also, he got Gesthos core code backup file.
The Sage is B009, Samuel. This was all part of his plan, based on how he decoded Antoria's message. So that's why he's after Hykros. He even transformed Void Piercer in Nemesis. He wants to be the perfect authorizer, doesn't he?
No, wrong. The Sage's body is too weak. Even now, he can't stay awake for long, let alone take on that kind of responsibility. The one who really has the perfect authorizer's traits, the one the Sage chose, is right beside you. She's the one he wants to send to Gesthos.
Me? A perfect authorizer?
50 years of growth, and you're still not perfect. But the Sage's body can't wait any longer. We had no choice but to transform you with the Angels of Clemency's technology.
So just because the Sage was running out of time, you chose to hurt Shirley? You really won't stop at anything.
The Sage is the one who understands Omnium's temporal and spatial properties better than anyone. If we can't save him, how can we even talk about saving Ida?
What's the difference between you and the Hykros you hate? You talk about saving Ida, but you're hurting Shirley. That's pure hypocrisy.
Ever heard of the trolley problem? To save the many, the few must be sacrificed.
So, I'm the one being sacrificed.
Shirley, don't listen to her. I won't let you be sacrificed.
Have you ever wondered why Hykros controls both Vera and Asperia? Why do the Asperians need suppressors to resist aberration, while Verans get by with just minor genetic tweaks? What is the link between the aberrants from Asperia and the dark wretches you encountered in Vera and Domain 9? And why does Hykros still refuse to let Asperia and Vera interact?
So, what's the connection between the aberrants and the dark wretches? Spit it out.
Huh, looks like you still don't know. While you were in the network, Hykros ran a secret experiment. They captured several darknesses for research, but the moment they brought them to Asperia, they disappeared.
Disappeared? Wait, how do you know about this? And why should I trust you?
You don't really think the heirs of Ida are just mindless brutes, do you? Besides, you're asking the wrong questions. You should be asking why the darkness vanished in Asperia. Nemesis, did you feel any difference between Vera and Asperia?
Since becoming an Angel of Clemency, I felt a constant sense of discomfort, but it wasn't as noticeable in Vera and Domain 9 as it was in Asperia. At first, I thought I was just getting used to the Angels of Clemency's machinery. But every time I return to Asperia, that feeling keeps getting stronger.
You left us too soon, without having truly learned the power of the Angels of Clemency. That discomfort you feel is actually unique to the Angels of Clemency. It's related to your perception of aberrant environments. Humans have 5 senses, but the Angels of Clemency have a 6th, which the sage calls aberration perception. Your discomfort comes from Asperia's unique aberrant environment.
Aberration perception and aberration environments? Can you explain them both clearly?
Sadly, even the sage doesn't completely understand them. We didn't realize we had this kind of perception until Vera showed up. Before that, we just thought it was a side effect of the Angels of Clemency's modifications. According to the sage's research, omnium radiation isn't the root cause of the aberrance, but it definitely exists. He thinks it's more accurate to call it aberration radiation. The cataclysm sparked a lot of prejudice against omnium, with people wrongly blaming it for the aberration. The truth is, aberration radiation is really just energy from the aberration core, and it has nothing to do with omnium.
The aberration phenomenon in Asperia comes from the temporal anomalies 50 years ago, which originate from the void entity in hyperspace. It seems the sage doesn't know about hyperspace, and instead thinks there's another cause for the aberration. So if the radiation is the energy manifestation of the aberration source, then yeah, it's linked to the void entity in hyperspace. The more void entities that gather, the higher the radiation, right? What about the dark wretches? You compared them to aberrants, which is weird. It's obvious dark wretches are a result of the darkness.
Let me explain, Vera. The aberration environment there is totally different from Asperia. There were some aberrants, but they were really rare. The sage thinks that after the cataclysm, the source of aberration probably doesn't affect the sector where Vera is, making it a lot safer than Asperia.
Both Vera and Asperia went through the cataclysm. So why the huge difference?
According to the sage, if the space-time turbulence from the cataclysm is like a tsunami, then Ida is like an arc shattered by the waves. The arc's shards drift through the ocean, some floating, some sinking in various seas. Some, like Asperia, have sunk to the seabed, while others, like Vera, have miraculously washed up on shore.
Okay, so the sage's theory kinda explains the difference between Vera and Asperia. But what about Domain 9? How does Ida's encounter with the cataclysm fit in? The darkness and dark wretches are from Domain 9, not Vera.
The Blackstone civilization you found in Domain 9 probably had a fate similar to Ida's. The energy from Domain 9 can power the Omnium reactor, and the darkness can survive in Vera too. The sage says the Blackstone civilization is probably Ida's future. Ida is the past of the Blackstone civilization. We have to stop Ida from facing the same fate.
So you're saying pod number 8 fell into Domain 9, which is a shard of a planet that was torn apart by Omnium, and once home to the Blackstone civilization?
Exactly. That's why the darkness can survive in Vera. It survived the cataclysm and might have been transformed by Omnium. As for the darkness disappearing in Asperia, Hykros thinks it means the darkness can't survive there. But the sage believes there's another realm within Asperia where the darkness has entered. It's just not visible to us right now.
Another realm within Asperia? Could that be hyperspace? The sage is getting closer to uncovering the truth behind the temporal anomalies by comparing the environments of Vera, Domain 9, and Asperia.
Hey, what are you thinking? I know this is a lot to take in, but I'm not done yet. Quit zoning out. If the sage's theory is correct, it means that there must be creatures in Asperia similar to the darkness, and these creatures are the source of the aberration. They simply exist in another space which we cannot reach.
Got it. So the sage thinks aberration radiation isn't from the cataclysm, but a sign that the real source of the aberration is somewhere else, with those creatures and the missing darkness in another space.
Right. The aberration in Asperia is worse than in Vera. The enemies are close, but people can't see or touch them. It's like walking through a foggy swamp, always at risk of being swallowed.
If the darkness is a type of void entity, then the dark wretches are basically aberrants. The only difference? The void entity in Domain 9 is right here, while Asperia's is still in hyperspace. If Domain 9 was part of the Black Stone civilization, then the darkness showing up with humans isn't a coincidence. It's likely from their research on Omnium and the void entity. The Sage might know more than Hykros, but what's the solution? Is there any way to save all of Ida?
Of course, if we recover all the Arc Shards quickly, we can reassemble it to save Ida. Otherwise, it's just a matter of time before everyone gets devoured by the waves.
So, the Sage's plan is to transform me into a perfect authorizer. And then...
Control Gesthos through Void Piercer to gain control of the Tower of Fantasy. Then, make the perfect authorizer initiate the third global retracement to piece together the shattered Ida.
If this plan succeeds, not only can Ida return to normal, but everyone affected by the cataclysm, including our Angels of Clemency, can start afresh.
The retracement. Can it help Shirley become a nurse again?
According to the Sage's plan, definitely. I've told you everything I can. Now the choice is yours.
You just said we need to recover all the shards. But the Sage could only handle Asperia's Tower of Fantasy back then. I guess the Sage realizes now that his original plan has flaws. Hey, it's been a while. Thanks so much for having Mia bring Carrot back. I'm really relieved both of the little ones are safe now.
It looks like you're really busy, so I'll skip the goodbye.
Your proposal's bold. I need some time to think it over. I'll let you know once I've made up my mind. All right, Shirley, let's head to Banges.
Okay.
Nemesis, the Sage is in stasis now, so it's all on you from here. Stay true to the path.
Goodbye, Valkyrie.
The Sage's greatest work. I hope we meet again. Oh, and before I forget, there's a message from the Sage I need to pass on to you. Do not act hastily with what you know in the network, nor seek other spaces. He will contact you upon wakening.
Thanks for the reminder. Oh, I almost forgot. I meant to ask Frigg myself. When did Frigg meet the Sage? Was he really awake at that time? You Angels of Clemency saw Nemesis being created. Didn't you ever wonder? If the Sage can implant an AI code in Shirley's mind, then could he do the same to yours?